So John, obviously your first training session on Wednesday. How did you find working with this group of players for the first time?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, they were very enthusiastic, but you'd expect that the first session. But I thought they were totally committed and bought into what we tried to achieve, the objectives of the session. And if they continue to work as hard as that and apply themselves as well as they did, I'd be delighted. But more importantly, I think you'll see the fruits of the labours in the performances, and should they do that, the fans will be delighted as well. So yeah, it was a good start. 8 out of 10 I'd have given that first session, so still signs for improvement, but yeah, it was a good start.
I like it. Good stuff. Victory obviously against London last weekend. Do you feel that the lads can go into Sunday's game with a bit of a spring in the step after that one?
I think they can certainly go in there with a bit of pressure taken off, yeah, because you know, when you're seeking an elusive victory, it's like the Holy Grail. It becomes more and more difficult to attain. But they did it, and they did it with a really good second half performance. You know, 16-0 in the second half is a very good performance. A, defensively, but B, also with ball in hand. But the first half I felt was a little lacklustre. I thought we took too many shortcuts, and the second half I thought the work ethic was really good. And again, you could see the contrast in the two performances. So more of the second half, and let's cut out that first half. That's what we'll be trying to do.
That's it. Is it just a case of getting some consistency now and doing it for 80 minutes?
I think it is, yeah. I mean, you know, against York, I thought the York performance actually was better than the London one as an 80-minute one. But against York, they played themselves into a winning position. But you could tell York were used to winning, and we weren't. And we got nervy and edgy, and York became more composed and assured about it, and that's probably why they got over the line. So that's why it was so good to see that response from the half time and the second half performance from the weekend. So we need to extend our good bits each week, so that ultimately you do aim for an 80 minutes. You never get one, but you always aim for an 80 minutes performance. There's always some time in the game where the opposition are going to have some say.
Definitely, yeah. The opposition this weekend obviously being Workington Town. What do you think we can expect from them this weekend?
Well, Workington, it's like any Cumbrian team. There's like their away team and there's the home team. And when you travel up to Cumbria, there's all the logistics of the travel and stopping off for a bite to eat, etc. But yeah, also, you know full well it's an intimidating atmosphere. And they do play much better when they're on their own middle. So we're expecting Workington at their best, and I think there's 3 real results you can look at that indicate how difficult they'll be. Early in the season they played Featherstone up at Derwent Park, 26-10 they lost. That's pushing Featherstone all the way. Later on, about a couple of months ago, Batley went up there, 16-10 Batley won. So they pushed a team who were flying high at the minute. They pushed them very close. And obviously the last game at Derwent Park was when they bet London. And they bet London 32-18, a better scoreline than we beat London. So we know full well that Workington is a formidable task, and we need to prepare as such.
Yeah, definitely. And that will be the start of a busy July schedule. Do you think that we can use this run of fixtures potentially to instill some confidence in the team?
Yeah, I do. I think, you know, there's 5 games in July, and I think what we've got to do, we've set targets as a performance group, and we're hoping to hit those targets. And if we hit those targets, it'll be like the rebirth of the side, you know, because we started so well at the start of the season, really did fall off the cliff, but we're now scrambling to get back on the bike or back up the cliff, whatever you want to call it, whichever analogy you want to use, but we're working really hard to do that. And I think this month has the potential to be a real season-defining month where we can turn it around, and then we can look to end the season with a bit of wind in our sails.